What I don't understand, though, it makes no sense to me, is to continue to spread this narrative that non-vaccinated players are either more dangerous or super spreaders, which obviously has been proven to not be true.
Aaron Rodgers, great quarterback, not so great of a scientist.
I think Aaron Rodgers needs to take responsibility, and it probably carries over to a lot of things in his life. You need to take responsibility and say, I want to leave because I want to leave. Don't try to blame it on Brian Gutekunst. I just wish that Aaron Rodgers would step up and take responsibility for his decisions and stop trying to paint himself as some sort of victim, whether it's about football or anything else.
ESPN's Dominic Foxworth, who earned an MBA in Harvard School of Business, has some thoughts.
So why are non-vaccinated players still held to a different testing standard? I don't understand why there's still this two-class system that exists in our league.
No one is victimizing you. You got a great situation. Life is good. If you want to change, that's fine. He's going to blame somebody else somehow. I don't know. It's going to be the vaccine's fault why he has to get out of Wisconsin. That's what it is.
It seems like this is very similar. This variant is very similar to the flu.
It just feels like he has this victim complex that he wants everyone to feel sorry for him. It's like, no, everyone's jumping down my throat because I said something that was vastly against science and dangerous. Why are you so mean to me? I just want to have a debate. Oh, this team won't give me I'll do all the things that I want. So I gotta leave. Why are you so mean to me? They're treating me so bad. You are not the victim, Aaron Rodgers. You are quite possibly the best quarterback we've ever seen. You won a Super Bowl, tons of MVP awards. Stop trying to feel sorry for yourself because we're not going to. And if you want to hear something, if you want to read something about COVID, there's plenty of stuff out there.
I consulted with a now good friend of mine, Joe Rogan. I've been doing a lot of the stuff that he recommended in his podcasts. I've been taking monoclonal antibodies, Ivermectin, zinc, vitamin C and D, HCQ.
Do not go to comedians and podcasters for your COVID research and information and then spew it out and have people believe it only because you throw a football really, really well, John Hamm. And then don't complain when people come down on you because you are challenging widely accepted scientific beliefs. When people do that, you get a lot of backlash.
Foxworth, like many, has had enough of Rodgers' shtick. Aaron Rodgers' belief that the unvaccinated are victims and the usage of vaccines isn't the effective treatment is just flat out false and riddled with disinformation. Duke Health made it crystal clear for many refusing to get the jab. 100% of those on ventilators are unvaccinated. 96% in the ICU, unvaccinated. Doctors are desperate because they knew what would happen. Hospitals, mainly those with non-COVID emergencies, would not be able to be treated because the unvaxxed would fill the beds. In Minnesota, doctors took out an ad in the Star Tribune pleading with people to get the vax. In Michigan, where 20 hospitals are running 97% occupancy or higher, an ER doc wrote an opinion piece in the Times warning that some facilities were close to being unable to provide care, and for a stressed hospital, every COVID admission can mean a canceled surgery, an overworked nurse or doctor, or a new space that has to be found. Elizabeth Hurdle, Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Director, told Michigan.gov, the data is clear. If you are unvaccinated, you are risking hospitalization or death. We have a safe and effective vaccine that is quite literally saving lives. Based on recent data from most Michigan health systems, MHA has found that 3 out of 4 COVID patients are unvaccinated, 76%. 87% of COVID ICU patients are unvaccinated, and 88% of COVID ventilator patients are unvaccinated. Ryan Struck, a senior producer for CNN, quoted the CDC's latest numbers, and they are startling. In short, the vaccines have proven effective. It's undeniable. But for egomaniacs like Rodgers, these trials and scientific conclusions just don't matter.
If science can't be questioned, it's not science anymore, it's propaganda.
While McAfee hoots and hollers for his boost in ratings with every Rodgers appearance, ESPN's Pablo Torre showed in just 2 tweets how unoriginal Rodgers is with his messaging with a plethora of examples. Rodgers' deceit is alarming. He's a man who simply refuses to own up to his mistake by quadrupling down each and every time he dials into McAfee's show. Recall this as well.
Why do people hate ivermectin? Not just because, Trump championed it. Because it's a cheap generic. Can't make any money off it. But it's been used 1 billion times in India. Go look at that research.
He would also mention Japan using ivermectin. Well, an easy and quick fact check by Reuters shows Japan has not approved ivermectin to treat COVID. Like many of Rodgers' points, it was a failed attempt. He mentioned India, right? Okay, let's look at India once more. The Indian Council of Medical Research and the National Task Force on COVID-19 have dropped the use of ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine drugs from their revised guidelines for the treatment of the infection. The decision was taken after experts found that these drugs have little to no effect on COVID-related mortality or clinical recovery of the patient. Hydroxychloroquine was another one of Rodgers' favorite remedies, whose fiancée, Shailene Woodley, believes eating clay is the best thing for the human body, and she doesn't trust doctors, thus she grows her own medicine. The National Institute of Health conducted a trial, something Rodgers and Trump have never done, to evaluate the safety and effectiveness of hydroxy for the treatment of adults with COVID. Their conclusion, zero surprise, the drug provides no clinical benefit to hospitalized patients. Going deeper into this trial, the NIH published their findings, which Rodgers still has yet to do because, at day 14, those who received hydroxy and those who received a placebo had a similar health status, with most participants in both groups discharged from the hospital and able to perform a range of activities. The number of participants, both treatment groups, who died at day 14 was also similar. At day 28, 25 of 241 patients in the hydroxy group and 25 of 236 patients in the placebo group had died. Aaron Rodgers put on an anti-cancel culture hoodie to spread verifiably false info about how India and Japan use ivermectin to treat COVID. Can we please stop pretending that he's smart, wrote ESPN's Toure once more. Omicron is here. It's spreading like wildfire, including in the country's youth. Per CBS News, the U.S. is averaging 260 pediatric COVID-19 hospitalizations a day, up nearly 30% from last week, said Mary T. Bassett, the acting commissioner of the New York State Department of Health. We need to get child vaccinations up. We need to get them higher than they are, particularly in the 5 to 11-year-old age group. My question, why risk this? Why take this chance? New research reported at the Alzheimer's Association found associations between COVID-19 and persistent cognitive deficits, including the acceleration of Alzheimer's disease pathology and symptoms. Since the pandemic began, research shows more than 90% of people infected with the virus have reported at least one neurological symptom, with many reporting more. What's troubled health experts is these symptoms often linger long after the infection clears. Cognitive impairment covers a range of issues, including memory, language, and attention. It can affect how people interact with others and their environment. Jacqueline Becker, a New York City neuropsychologist, led research that's been published. It found cognitive problems among people with a wide range of COVID illness severity. We found those who were hospitalized were more likely to have cognitive impairments in the area of attention, executive function, memory coding, and memory recall than those who were treated as outpatients, she said. Poor executive function also can impact memory and the speed at which the brain can process information. Long COVID is yet another dreadful example of why you should want to get vaccinated and avoid getting the coronavirus at all costs. The National Institute for Health and Care Excellence found the following symptoms: fatigue, shortness of breath, cough, sleep disturbances, anxiety and depression, cognitive impairment, difficulty concentrating or brain fog, along with several other symptoms associated with long COVID, which include fever and pain, chest pain and palpitations, joint pain, muscle pain, skin rashes, and hair loss. Again, don't trust Aaron Rodgers. Don't trust Joe Rogan. Trust those that are doing the actual research.